Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode here at Teens Biz Talk. We are super excited to have our guest with us today. I really think you guys are going to enjoy the sweets that she's all about. And I'm sure she has some great things to share with us just about her business. And yeah, you guys definitely want to stay tuned to hear what's going to happen today. But before we jump in and get started, today's episode is being sponsored by Bateman Empowering Educators. At Bateman Empowering Educators, we take away the trial and error method of your teenager learning about money and replace it with a practical blueprint to equip them to create a 5-star financial future. So make sure you click on the link below to see what types of books, courses, and resources we have available. So today we have the pleasure of meeting with Miss Emma Kilberg. Did I say that correctly, Emma?
Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I am well. And thank you again so much for taking time out of what I know is a very busy schedule for you to stop by and chat with us. We really, really appreciate it. So before we get into like your business and all the great things that you do, why don't you just tell us a little bit about you?
So my name's Emma. I'm a sophomore in high school, so I'm 15. I have one brother and one sister. Their names are Jake and Lily. I play volleyball. I'm a setter. That's really fun. I do that for my school. And yeah, I've just really excited to talk about my business.
Awesome. So you said you play volleyball and you're in school and you have a business and you have siblings and wow. So how do you
job that I work? So
and you have a job. Oh my goodness, Emma. So just how do you even work to keep all of that balance?
I think like learning how to find that balance was like one of the hardest things in like running a business for me. I started my business when I was like 11. And so even though like I didn't have as much homework and stuff then, but I still, had extracurriculars and things going on. And I used to take just like realistically way too many orders for an 11-year-old to deal with. So like learning how to like manage your schedule and manage like, okay, yes, you could fit all of these 5 things in your week, but like how stressed are you going to be when you have those 5 things in your week? Maybe you should come back to 3 or 4 of those things. So yeah, that's been really important for me.
Got you. Sounds very wise. Thank you for those words of wisdom. And so tell us about your business. What are some of the yummy things that you make? Kind of what got you started at 11 to want to bake?
So I do like custom royal icing cookies. So I've done, super fun orders. I've done like symbols for colleges. I've done, all sorts of logos. I've like things for baby showers. I do a lot of, baby showers and first birthdays and birthday parties and stuff like that. So the first time and I've always cooked and baked. Me and my mom kind of learned how to do that together as I was growing up. Like we started when I was like 3 or 4 with like box cake mixes. And then by the time I was, 9, 10, 11, we were, making cakes from scratch. So the first time we ever tried royal icing cookies was for a friend's like basketball party. And so we did basketball cookies. And a friend of my mom's kind of was like, oh, Emma seems like she's really good at this. Like would you want to be interested in making cookies for, my daughter's birthday party? And so I, just did that and it really took off from there.
Awesome. Now I have been able to see some of your yumminess, have not had a chance to taste it yet. But I believe one of my favorites that I liked was you made cookies with plants on them.
Yes.
You had a plant theme. Yeah. So like what even inspires you to, I never would have thought of that, like cookies with all these different type of plants. And as a gardener, I was just like, ooh.
I'm really just like so inspired by other, cookiers is what generally people that do this call themselves. Especially on Instagram. I just love just like scrolling through Instagram and looking at all the other amazing things that, people are doing and people that I connect with through that. And just also like things through my life. Like, so for instance, for that plant set, I looked at the plants that I have in my house, the ones that I just bought, the ones that are on their way out, because I'm not so great at those, and just did those in cookie form. And I thought about the plants that I want to buy, and I did those in cookie form. And color palettes come from like, just colors that I enjoy and colors that I wear and find it look good together when I wear them together. And the fonts that I write are from, just doodling words on homework sheets, just being like, oh, this font would look really good on cookie if it said happy birthday. So stuff like that.
It's great. I absolutely love the creativity. I can just feel it like exuding from you. Ooh, ooh. So, okay, so you started business when you were 11 and now you're 15. So you've been at this for a few years now.
Yeah.
Is there any particular business challenge that you've encountered over this time that you felt helped you grow as a person and as a business owner?
I think one of the main ones was something I already touched on a little bit, is just like learning how to balance it and learning that like the definition of success is not like you have the most orders and you make the most money. If I wanted to just make the most money, I would just take up more shifts at work. That's not, why I do this. So kind of having that kind of start to affect my mental health, and also how much I enjoyed it. Like I was kind of for a little bit like burning myself out and I stopped liking it. So learning that like, if you enjoy something, sometimes you have to kind of take a step back and, not push yourself too hard and work yourself too hard, because that takes the fun out of it. And then also I think sometimes, and I pretty much all of my friends and family have been absolutely amazing. Anytime I make anything for friends and family, they're just like, you design it, you're good at, they're all so amazing. But I have had a couple people who have been like, ooh, this is too expensive, or ooh, whatever. And just kind of learning that like, yeah, people are going to say that. But you have to just value yourself and know that like, yeah, this is worth the price because it's good and it takes a long time and I have the skill. And if you had that skill, you would also sell it for that price.
That is great. I love that confidence. I love it. I love it. And so just within business, I heard you just, talking about, the support that you get from your friends and how you've just been able to better understand yourself in terms of time management and workload. And those are like great skills to be able to have, not just in business, but sure, I would imagine you use them in school and just in life. Where do you go to learn about the business aspect of business?
Well, my mom is actually a small business owner of more than one business. So she has, been super helpful. She's probably definitely been like my main supporter and just, helping me figure out what orders to take and what to take down, and, where my skills are at, and just like really, for, talking to coworkers, like, oh, you have a party, you should order cookies for my daughter, just really kind of like advertising for me almost. So she's really been super helpful in just like knowing how to work that world.
Great, very good. And what do you do just to stay current on what's going on in your industry, right? Different things are changing with baked goods. Some people are like, "Oh, I'm gluten free. I only want gluten free cookies," or "Oh, all the different things that come up." So, what do you do to stay current to say, "Oh, people are liking this particular thing or that particular thing"?
I think the biggest thing is honestly social media. And I think that's where like teen business owners, we have an advantage because we know how to navigate that better than anybody. So, for me, mainly Instagram, but also a lot of TikTok, just like looking at the trends that are out there. And the vast majority of my designs are from, pulling inspiration from different pictures I've seen. Anytime I'm working on a set, I'll usually spend like half an hour just scrolling through Instagram or something like that and just looking at things that other people have done and taking inspiration from those and saying, oh, I like this piece and I like this piece and I like this piece, and just combining that and using your own creativity to bring that together. And then also just like directly talking to other people again on social media, just like, oh, I, really love this technique. Have you ever tried this? Oh, I never tried that. How do you do that? So having those conversations with people is just awesome. And, things like just going into baking stores and seeing the kind of, sprinkles they have, what kinds of things they're trying, just like little things that really add up over time to help you understand that industry.
That is great. Have you found times where maybe you weren't very motivated? You mentioned all the different things that you do. Do you find there are times when you're like, "Ah, I'd rather just veg out and, binge on my favorite show than having to go do this big cookie order?"
100%. And I think that's why for me now, I try to only take orders that like I enjoy. One like kind of well-known thing that cookiers hate in that world is like character cookies. So like doing like Team Umizoomi cookies or things like that. You're having to like replicate a face and there's no creativity to it. And if you mess it up even a little bit, it ends up looking nothing like the real thing. So choosing not to do those and instead choosing to take ones where I can really use my own creativity and just have the person just give me like a color palette and the basic info. Like I just did cookies for a baby shower and I just had them give me was it a girl or a boy, when was the due date, and that was kind of it. And they were just so amazing. They just said whatever you think will work best, and I gave them back some designs and we kind of talked it through together, and that makes it so much more enjoyable. It makes it so much harder to lose motivation when it's coming from your own creativity.
Great, great, great. So, what do you see, or what are your goals or vision for your business going forward? Like in the next 5 years, you'll be finished with high school, and just kind of what do you see happening next in your business?
I think for me, like just kind of continuing to get better and being able to offer more things. I've only ever done cookies except for one time last fall, and we'll probably do it again this fall. I did pumpkin pie fudge, so it's flavored like pumpkin pie, and then it's shaped like pumpkin pie and kind of little slices with like a little fake dollop of whipped cream. So kind of learning how to apply my skills to other things, so that if somebody maybe wants to order muffins or a cake or whatever, that I could also do that and not just stick with cookies.
That sounds great. Wow. Little pieces of cake. How cool. So tell me, what is the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
That's hard. I don't know. Like I would say just to like follow your passions and to do what makes you happy. There's no point in doing anything if it doesn't make you happy and just fulfill you. So yeah.
Okay. And what would you say is the worst piece of advice? Somebody told you something and you were like, oh, that was bad.
I feel like I feel like there's a big misconception that unless you're like the best at something, you shouldn't be doing it. Which I feel like was super discouraging for me in the beginning of just like, if you can't do this one thing, then like you shouldn't be in this, business. And it's like, that's not true. You can't get to be able to do that thing until you learn the basics. So just kind of just know that like, yeah, everybody has your limits, but you're not going to pass those limits until you just work through it.
Yes. So true. So true. So is there any particular advice or recommendations that you would give to other teenagers that are listening and they're thinking about a business, but they're not sure, or they just started a business and they're like, oh, how can I kind of get going with this?
I think one of the biggest things is to be proud of your business, to be proud of what you do. Because for probably the first 2.5, 3 years, I was actually really embarrassed of, the fact that I had this business, and I didn't tell anybody about it except for my closest friends. And when I would give them like, extra leftover cookies, I would in the hallway, I would just be like, here, take this, put it in your bag. I didn't want anyone to see it. And then as soon as I started like being proud of it and just like openly sharing with people, like, look, this is what I do. I got, more orders from like classmates and stuff, which those are always the best orders because I'm able to collaborate with people more. And it's just got so much more fun to be able to be proud of it and share it openly. So yeah, just go for it and don't be worried about what other people are going to think, because like the vast majority of the time, people are going to think it's awesome. I've never had somebody be like, that's weird. Every single time it's been like, that's so great. That's so cool. Tell me more about that.
Great, great, great advice. I hope everybody was listening and writing that down. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with us that we didn't cover today?
I don't think so. No.
No? Okay. Well, if you can please let everybody know, how can they get in touch with you?
My main way that you can get in touch with me is through Instagram. My account is baking with Emma 1013. So yeah, please go follow me there if you'd like.
Okay. Great, great. Well, once again, Emma, thank you for coming to talk with us, for sharing. I know I was encouraged by the things that you said, and my confidence was built up just a bit more there. So thank you for that. And yes, we just wish you all the best in all your future cookie making and whatever thing you decide to do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So thank you everybody for tuning in today. Definitely be on the lookout for our next episode. And as a reminder, everything in creation was created with a gift inside of it. That includes you. So go out and share your gift with the world. See you later.